What? Huh? There isn't usually a mimic here. Uh, why isn't it moving? um... Uh... Hello? Miss, you have a pixel on your face. A strange being stares vacantly into nothingness. It doesn't react to your movements. Huh. That's strange. Another one? Same description. Okay. Something weird is going on today. Okay, three is something else. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. It's a different spot again. What is happening here? What does it all mean? Hi, I'm Crep. That brand looked pretty interesting, didn't it? What could it mean? Well, I'm starting on a fresh save file to demo. I will say really quick, as a brief explanation, all of those mimics, you only get one per save file after you've met certain criteria, which we haven't even done in the LP yet. In a way, even tackling this that we're about to do is kind of out of sequence. But I thought now is a good time to show it, now that we've finished the main story, we've tied up some loose ends, I've shown you more things in general about the world of Void. We are about to enter EX mode. You might have observed it for yourself already, but the completed brand, all 17 pixels, looks sort of like the letters E and X if you're looking at the empty space rather than the filled in space. We get the usual vague response to a special brand here. It's worth noting that other special brands do not interact with the EX brand at all. You cannot give yourself any boons of any kind going into EX mode. If you're familiar with La Mulana, EX mode is something of a hell temple. It's almost oppressively difficult. It requires knowledge of fine nuances of the mechanics, and it doesn't like you very much. But, you know, even as someone can grow to really like the precision of something like Hell Temple, and even enjoy its many road bumps, someone like me can develop a fondness for the experience of EX mode. I'll leave you to it. We arrive in a room of the same shape as the brand. E000. Next to us is a jukebox. It's in our way, so... Be prepared for this song to haunt you. This room has 4 branches visible to it. We definitely can't go in this one. Can't go in this one either, that's for sure. And this one is blocked by an ad statue. No clue what to do with it, so guess that's not where we're going yet either. There's a rock we can't talk to, and a left statue, so don't pick anything up in here. Unless you want to die. But we start voided. So, death is a mild consequence. Let's just start this thing. Looks like the brand of the Void Sword. Now, as with the Hell Temple comparison, EX mode is a sort of challenge mode, not in the sense of challenge modes where the main game gets made harder through some stipulation or addition or change in mechanics or anything, but rather the kind of hard mode where it's just a harder game. You're playing a different, harder game now. The Mario Bros. 2 Japan to the Mario Bros. 1, I suppose. I kind of went through that one a little quick, but you also might have noticed some odd stuff, suspicious stuff, lying the right side of the room here. We could check that out briefly. I just solved that room by getting all the Lev statues into place such that they killed the various enemies running along these tracks before they hit the judgment tiles. Such that we could use the Lev statues to kill the lazy eyes and make our way out. But you could just let them all kill themselves and then push these off. And that gives you free reign to just pick up whatever you want. And with this freedom, we could go to the right side of this rock and use it to kill this lazy eye instead. 41. That's odd. Well, if we really wanted to from here, we could push this rock along, build in such a way that let us... Ooh, that's tricky. Push you over here. That let us push it from many angles to kill those other 2 lazy eyes, but that's a lot of busy work, and you get the idea. Much faster to just do this room the proper way again. I've done a lot of practicing of EX mode over the last few days. And I think it will make this playthrough look a lot smoother, in most places anyway, than any first-time playthrough of EX mode would look. By a long shot. EX mode, your first time through it, and probably your second time through it, and maybe your third time through it too, is a struggle. It is a struggle between you and a game designer. Or a level designer, maybe is the way to put it. Or maybe a game designer. I don't know. Things you'll encounter a lot of across this sub-game. Rooms that are deceptively simple. For a long time, I solved this room under the assumption that the only way to get through it was to have that mimic push all 3 of these Aes statues, which we haven't even seen yet. This is a whole new mechanic, by the way, which we would normally see in the late game of the main game. They create these tiles when they get pushed off into holes. We would normally use this mimic to push all 3 to the right to create a bridge over to the stairs over here, but you don't have to do that at all. Just make enough room for the Mimic to get stuck over there, pushing against the wall so it won't go anywhere and also won't die on the Judgment tile, and then make your own bridge. There's nothing stopping you. So there's a lot of rooms like that in here. Lots where the solution is much simpler than it seems, and just involves some specific lockpicking, I suppose is the way to put it. This one used to be a lot more complicated for me. I recently checked out, just very briefly, a speedrun of EX mode, because they've got it down to under 19 minutes now, which is wild to me. This took me days my first time, and even the last several times I played it, and I'm sure it'll take me about as long tonight, it takes me multiple hours. It'll probably be like between 2 and 3 hours of what I expect for this playthrough right now. But I didn't watch it all the way through because I didn't want it to like influence my habits too much. I didn't want to play the game like a speedrunner, but I wanted to get some sense of better solutions for some puzzles, and also just check out how some rooms were done quickly at all, which has helped me understand rooms like EO2-3 a little better. EO2-4 also, but that one I sort of put together their solution with what made sense in my head, because I didn't watch it all. This one I really like. This has always been a very fun, easy room for me. You'll notice that two mimics side by side will always desync themselves one tile when you try to move them to the side, because one tries to move into where the other one is at the same time as it moves away, and it just registers as not being able to move while the other one does move, so you get a little space that way. This room is my bane. God, how to put this? There is a subset of Void Stranger player who had difficulty with the Double Beaver room in Lily's version of Bee's Domain, which you might recall, because I immediately left that room by accident in my playthrough. Oh yeah, I did this good. Thank goodness I actually remember how to get through here the right way. First try. I had to stop recording my first attempt at this playthrough and sit down and just relearn this room because I'd already forgotten it. I just solved it yesterday. I'd already forgotten what I did. Anyway, you'll see people who have trouble with that kind of mechanic, with navigating, directing the beavers into specific spots and stuff. Well, I don't have any issue with that. My Achilles heel are these dang shadows. I cannot plan ahead when it comes to those things, so it's a good thing that I have the privilege of being able to just study other people's solutions to get a sense of what paths work, so I don't have to think that hard about it. For the most part, we're going to kind of breeze through chunks of this. Some rooms I need to stop and think a little bit, and other rooms... oh, oops, I didn't want to do that at all. For the specific way that I do this room. Other rooms I'll need to... I don't need to do anything. Other rooms are just slow and laborious. That's just the truth of it. Okay, we want you there. And then we're going to put the stairs here. Pick up... Oh, I didn't want to walk down there. I want to pick that tile up at some point. I want to pick it up from the bottom right corner, that's right. Pick up the stairs, push the statue in. Now we're still synced up. Get you above me. Push that statue into the pit. Stairs on the right, pick this up. I like that you cannot rapid push in this game, but mimics can if you're walking quickly. Of course, now I'm going to be bumping a wall, so now it's not going to quick push. Okay, we don't want that mimic to go any farther than that exact spot. Now we can trade places, go up, separate, get out of here. This was also a problem room for me for a long time. Eventually I figured out my own solution and then recorded it so I would never lose it. And thank goodness, because I actually needed the refresher before I started recording this. But I have a very specific way of getting through this room that involves me bringing this white tile over, such that I have a solid space to stand from right here, push this tan statue, and drop little lazy eyes. Whew. Oh, I like this one too. I think in general, I tend to like these ones that involve outsmarting the octahedron, but they did take me a long while to understand how. So we stall for a bit just by picking up and placing the shade sigil tile. Now we're also going to bait it over here, because as soon as we walk over, shade's in its way and it has to go the other way. Now we've swapped sides. That's all we need to do to get over here to the button. We'll stall a little more, and then hang out down here, bait it once. Now as we walk over here, it'll get stuck right there, because it doesn't have a path to us anymore. It's blocked. Its only path to us is being blocked by the shade right now. That gives us just enough room to put the button down, slip in here, and get out. And that's that. Already, this path is over. We have our first burden. You acquired a strange sword. Its ornate design makes it rather cumbersome to use. Who knows? Maybe it'll come in handy in the long run. Or maybe it will be the only thing that allows us to keep going in spite of it all. Back to the first room with us. With the acquisition of the Void Sword, we now have the ability to go down the right side. And that's the loop for EX mode. Welcome to the Wings path. This is going to test us a lot on our understanding of not just positioning to kill enemies with the sword, but also considering how to navigate around specific enemies, bait them into what we want to do, where we want enemies, where we really, really do not want enemies. Oh, that was really close actually, not quite what I wanted. I'm currently holding a tile right now, so I can't drop that smile off. I just internalized how to do this one the other night. Or at least, a way to do this one. This one has so many moving parts that I have to imagine there's just an extreme number of ways to get through it. Okay, let me stop and think for a brief second. Also turn my light on because it's getting dark outside, go figure. This is what happens when we record it almost 5 p.m. in December. So this maggot's going to go down on the next turn. If I go right, it will still be down when I'm right here. Then it'll go up when I'm right here. Which isn't ideal because it moving up will not make the smile see me on the same turn. So actually... we are probably better off waiting for this one to go up. Oh! That'll work too. That'll work too. The important thing is that we want to drop the smile off ASAP. It is so in the way. That one smile is giving me so much trouble over time. I didn't even comment on the fact that the song has changed. We got the addition of an electric guitar, taking over the melody in places, playing counter melody in other places. Going wild a moment ago. Okay, let's get rid of this beaver. Honestly, there's something about calling them beavers for real that makes me feel very silly. I know it's fine. I know it's like just the canonical name, but like, it's like I'm playing into a joke. Okay, we're gonna want to get this button all the way over there. This room seems a little daunting at first. You might notice the shade sign tile right there. We're gonna end up passing over it. It's not that bad, actually. Our goal is just to get one of these two maggots to step on one of these two fuse tiles, and that'll give us room to place stuff, pick up other stuff, I think when you get into something as quote-unquote late game as EX mode, you start kind of getting into the mindset of expecting to be restricted by some lev statues. You owe it to yourself to be aware of when that's really not the case. A lot of times, puzzles in EX mode will rely on you recognizing that you're free to just pick up and place stuff. So be smart about it. What we really want to do is just get some room, and I just screwed up. Hold on, let's just reset again. Get some room to comfortably navigate around and place down the button. We really just need enough room to get that one lazy eye on the right dead. But I have the habit of going and picking up everything, getting it all out of the way, killing all the lazy eyes. Can't help it. It just feels nice to clear the room out. Okay. And that's about it. At this point, we just need to make sure we don't walk into our shadow again. Ooh, this was a little puzzle box. This one's very weird. They give you some of these rooms where it's just so compact. There's so little space to play in, yet so many potential things to work with to forge a path through the room. Let's kill this maggot, and then kill this leech. That's not a problem. If we kick up a couple of times, that double reverse mimic will cover up that spot immediately above the beaver. And then now if we get things positioned like this, if we just move to the right, the mimic and the beaver will collide with each other. Now be very careful. The octahedron is on your butt immediately. So head up, head down, kill it. It's not too bad, but like understanding that it has to be those specific steps in order, and like there's a little wiggle room with what you do prior to the octahedron. I think actually there's a time that I solved this room by making the octahedron collide with the mimic instead, but I cannot recall how I did that. No clue. I could be misremembering. I hope y'all have been noticing also there have been other rooms with suspicious ad statues and rocks in them. Keep that in the back of your mind. Like, of course, it's very suspicious. Clearly it's going to be important in some way. That's another room where you have to take a very specific path through it. You might notice with the 3 love statues, you only get 1 pickup and put down. So, be thoughtful in your movements. Okay, here we really just want to get the leech trapped all the way on the right with the fuse tile out of the way. Get these beavers over, and once they're over, we can drop everything. The judgment tiles are almost a non-factor. So speaking of people having issues with what's the word that I even want here? Not navigating, but like with getting the beavers to do what you want them and working with that mechanic. This is a very tricky room. Here's what I like to do. So I get 3 of the 10 statues just on the buttons. I keep the one to the left to make sure that the beaver over there doesn't come my way, doesn't see me. And then we bait this one down, which invariably baits that one up, and then we kill the upper one. You only need one more thing to keep the button pushed down, so we'll bring that up, pick up the stairs so that we can have the beaver stop at this exact point. Lure it over here. Luring was the kind of word I wanted. And now that it's right there, we just move up and down. But like figuring that out, that was one of the rooms I had a lot of trouble with my first time through EX mode, of course. This is a much bigger puzzle box room here. A lot of our movement is very restricted by all these empty chests. Our goal is, of course, since there's a tan statue blocking the stairs, to kill everything. But you really need to get a sense for the exact things you have to do. what order? Let's get this lazy eye. Let's pick this up. No, let's not pick this up. Let's get this up here first. So that'll drop that smile over there. Then we can just come over and tail this beaver. That one's come over, but it doesn't do anything to us over there. So we can put this tile back down and kill it safely over here still without touching any of these shade sign tiles. Now let's pick up this one. Bait over this beaver. Drop that smile. Things have already gotten pretty cleared out. Here's a very tricky step to this room that I really didn't parse for a while. If we push this tan statue up, it's never coming down again. If we push this rock down, it's never coming up again. Incidentally, it's the only rock in this room. It does just have randomized dialogue, though, if you're curious. Anyway, though, having something on this button right now doesn't mean anything to us, so let's just drop the rock in there, assuming we won't need it, which is true, and then use that open space to kill that lazy eye, use this tan statue to kill that one, and then push it back up out of the way, and now we have the space to get these two, and we can finally focus on getting this last beaver. Now to get this last lazy eye, that's what we wanted the tan statue around for. If we'd gotten it stuck in the corner, we could not finish this room proper. We need it right there as an extension from us standing on this specific spot, which is a shade sign tile, to push it up into this lazy eye without spawning a shadow behind us, allowing the tan statues to disappear. Finally, now that we've done all of that, we can get to the next part of the puzzle, which you can fail and have to do all the steps prior again as a result of. We are going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 shadows behind us. It's not too bad, to be honest. I like to do a couple loops around here, and then loops around here, and then loop around here. So let's see. We're over 2 of them right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So if we do one more loop around here, we will absolutely have enough. And also, we won't be blocking our path. We won't have too many. That is something else you have to be conscious of. And another smaller puzzle box room. Very few moves to make here. Our play area is very restricted. I wouldn't even consider this tile right here to be a tile we can make use of, because as soon as we come down here, the beaver's already there. So, the very specific way to get through here, stall once, kill this lazy eye to stall here while the maggot passes by, kill the maggot, wait here. We need to have the leech up top in a very specific spot. Once it is right there, we can notice where the other leech is also. If we head down to bait the beaver, we head up, we can also kill the leech, which is great. This exact moment while the beaver is chasing you is the only time you really get any, like, free movement, period, if you want, but you still gotta be careful with it. Head up, lure it immediately, stall by picking up this tile, note the 2 left statues on the right so we only get 1 pickup and no put downs, and the beaver and the leech crash. Now, make sure to approach luring the smile into the hole from down here, because if you step this way instead, you'll have a shadow behind you by the time it falls in, and this tan statue won't disappear. You see what I mean? A lot of these rooms aren't difficult because there's something, like, difficult about the execution. I don't think, like, there are many, if any, rooms in this game that are like that. If anything, it's one boss that we haven't even gotten to yet that is about execution. it's a puzzle game. It's a turn-based puzzle game at that. Everything that you interact with is also moving at the same time as you. So the real factors in why it's difficult is just understanding the steps, understanding how things mingle, knowing why you want to do a specific thing, knowing that you can do a specific thing. Which I suppose isn't that surprising, but it is a major factor in why something like this is related to, but still very different from, a Hell Temple. So things to note about this room. There are Tan statues here, but none of them are blocking the exit. Instead, what's blocking the exit is buttons that we need to hold down. So clearly we need shadows, and there are shadows at the end of this corridor. You might also notice at the bottom row, there is a leech moving left and right. As soon as it hits that fuse tile a second time, this row of protective enemies and Tan statue will also disappear. So we need to make sure that we're protected from these Mon statues on the right. We can do that by having as many... Oh, oops. I got a little overzealous there. As many shadows as we can manage to get behind us in this time. 2, 4, 6. Now we have a perfectly protecting line behind us. No matter how many times we walk in this exact pattern, as long as we keep to it, our shadows will make sure that we do not, at any point, get turned to gold. And now that we've done some mild, specific stalling to get rid of all these maggots, we could get rid of this lazy eye, but it really doesn't matter. The important thing is that we've gotten this far and we can press down these 2 buttons and escape. Here is another room very similar to the first one in this branch. Let's let those 3 collide. My habit with this one is to come down here as if I'm going to get that leech and then let it move out of the way, kill this leech, let that collide, and at that point, I'm pretty much home free. A lot of mass death just kind of happens. We're free to take care of everything else. We are getting close to the end of this path, too. This one's very tricky. We want to make sure that we have this untouched fuse tile in our rod as we head over. If we place it down here, the leech and the maggot collide on it, and that sets it off, and then the beaver walks on it and dies. Oh god. You know, earlier I was saying the shadows following me is my heal. So I had this one mostly memorized. Let's see if I can execute on that memory well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the leech has moved enough that when we go over here, we can just kill it outright. We get a mandatory 2 shadows to start. We're gonna do a bunch of cycling until we end up on this tile with the maggot up there at its topmost. There we go. We'll go over and pick this tile up. Our goal, similar-ish to the other shadow room, or the other major shadow room on the sword path, is to make a bridge over to the stairs on the right. So we have to do some very, very specific pathing in order to do that. We're gonna pick up this judgment tile, put it down here to kill the beaver, get it out of the way, and now let's grab this. We have to make some very specific, careful, deliberate choices about what intersections we choose to break here. But as long as we keep with this loop that we're doing right now, we're gonna be in the clear. Let's break this intersection, put that there, loop back around one more time with this lower path we have. Oh, hey, I walked on one more shadow tile than I usually do when I solve this room. That's actually very curious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very curious. Normally, I'm used to that exact solution working, so that's interesting. Cycle around again. Yeah, let's go up here. Drop that there. Pick this up. Put it there. Oh, I have enough, I have few enough shadows behind me to just go up from here, don't I? That's why. I just overextended myself for no reason. I didn't need to walk on this specific tile to my right. Okay, that explains it. That's very funny. Okay, now you can see we can safely go up here, come down, pick this up, put this here, and we're good. I'm really glad to have those ones memorized because they would be the biggest problem spots in a playthrough like this were I not practiced. I mean, they were about to be. Like I said, I scrapped a recording earlier because I was taking so long on the earlier one of those. Okay, so we want to make this very specific pattern here. We started here and then did one single loop, ending here, coming down again, and now we're going to end here, and we'll do that loop 2 more times, and that will give us exactly enough shadows with exactly enough room to get out of here. Super specific puzzle solution. Took me forever to parse my first time. Luckily though, for reasons we'll get to later, I'm very familiar with that room and this one. We'll stall here a couple of times, come down, kill this leech. Okay, now we're going to hang out here for a moment. These 2 leeches are now our only defenses against these mon statues. So we're going to want to be very careful, very deliberate. We can also take a moment to trap them over on the sides sometimes when it's convenient. Let's pick this up and bring it up over here to this upper hole. So that gives us a little more freedom of movement if we just keep the leech over there the whole time. Now, with everything as it is, yeah, with everything as it is, we are basically good. We have to be very careful with how we take these leeches out. We'll use these fuse tiles, so that gives us more holes to work with. And, of course, be very aware of the gaze of the mon statues now that we're starting to kill these. We'll take this tile and move it over here, and now we're good. Now that we have a hole to the right of the exit, we're golden. We can drop this leech off, get out of the way, pick up the button, and make our way out. And that's that. You acquired a strange pair of wings. They feel extremely brittle. Who knows? Maybe they'll come in handy in the long run. There's something very compelling about the way that you get the burdens in reverse order in EX mode. Just as the subversion of your expectations from the main game, I suppose. Okay, one more branch we can go check out. We have the means now. This one, I think, might be my favorite of the parts of EX mode. Here you can see we have these this narrow path around these enemies. You might remember from Void Stranger's Sif, we encountered this mechanic. When you're hovering over a gap at the same... when an enemy is already facing that gap, they'll knock you into it. So we're going to need to make sure we do some very specific stalls in order to make sure we can get past these enemies safely. This room stumped me for a long time. You get into it and have the assumption, right, that you need to find some way to safely push off this Aya statue, and then also pick it up and make use of it, and like not put yourself into a dead-end situation like this where there's nowhere you can go with it. That kind of deal, you know? Actually, just out of curiosity, could do something like that, but that also won't work out. Anyway, though, I don't know if that's an actual dead-end line of logic to solving this room. I've never solved it that way, because eventually I figured out you start on a white tile that you can just go and pick up real easy. So then you've got 2 white tiles like it's nothing. Oh, again, the music is updated. Now we have a saxophone in addition to our guitar. This one I like. It's very simple, but you just have to understand the specific flow of it in order to get into a winning position. There are a lot of different ways you can approach the AA statues and get them to make their tiles such that you actually can't get out of there. Ooh, this one's very goofy, if I remember correctly. So, okay, just to kind of outline this room, you see it, there's a beaver on a button right here from this diamond effect. There's 2 more buttons right here and 3 more beavers. That's 1 more beaver than we need. The smartest way to handle that is to lure 1, kill it. Then we can bait this one over here. And since we already walked to the right, we lured that one over onto a button. We can carefully navigate around this one such that it tails us in, and thanks to us having frame 1 immunity when we go on the stairs, that beaver down below can't do anything to us. Oh, this one is a bit involved. If I remember correctly, I pick up this fuse tile and bring it over here. We want to have the AA statue's white tile right here, such that we can put a lit fuse tile next to this one and safely step on it and back. That's our goal. So we've made a little bit of runway. If we keep going, make space to push the AA statue off, let's also grab this one and put it here and kind of block out our space a little better. That 1 tile that I just put down gives us the room to safely land here. That's all we need. This whole memory path is full of rooms involving complex use of AA statues with the wings. I think they're funny. Once again, be attentive to the fact that you have 3 buttons but 4 enemies to put on them. Let's kill one. That gives us a little more room to work with in terms of tiles. We'll actually need that. If we put those buttons down there, and let's put that one there, move that, and then temporarily put... Ooh, be careful. Let's put this button here. Could have, I mean, I couldn't have really stranded myself, because once I put this down here, if that button were another tile away, I could just pick up this white tile again and move it. But that's where we want those to be. Let's put the button here, leave the stairs here. Now that we have everything in place, we're safe to bring the octahedrons onto these buttons, pick up the stairs. Oh, I got the stairs and this button in the wrong spot. Easy fix. Okay, pick up the button and put it down here. Being on the stairs, the octahedron will step, us being on the stairs, the octahedron will step on the button, we'll just go right through. I feel right now, with my, like, explanatory commentary, that I'm coming off like a speedrunner. At, like, a live event. Maybe I should just not explain what I'm doing here and let you figure it out. I went the wrong way. I know what I want to do there, and that was not it. See, just think on it. Think on it on your own. I'm sure you'll figure it out. I think Actually, I wanted to push that one over to begin with. Oh, mistake on my part of movement, I think. Oh, no, that was also wrong. That was also bad. I see why now. I can just drop that one early. Yeah, if we just drop this, then we're, like, good. I want to approach this from the right, though. There we go. Oh, almost. I forgot. I forgot an important detail. So, in actuality, let's just go over here. That was also wrong. How did I do this so effortlessly the other night? I did it so effortlessly, too. I did it, like, so effortlessly. Did I do it so effortlessly? I know that I did this recently in a way that left at least the upper left Aya statue completely untouched. Oh, like that. There we go. Yay! So as you can see, some of these don't even require you to use every Aya statue. In fact, this one is one of my favorites for that reason. As long as we set things up very specifically, we can simply push this one, and this one, leaving two behind that we didn't even need for the solution. Some of these are very freeform in that way. I really like it. This one is a very important reminder that you have your wings. Don't forget that you have wings, dummy. Okay, we push this tan statue over to the right, and now we are offset, which gives us a little more... Oh, oops. Gives us a little more room to work with. There we go. That's what I wanted to do, is fill this space out a little bit more. Okay, push this down, now we're offset in a different way. Push it once more, and now that tan statue is the only thing keeping us alive, so let's be cognizant of that. Let's put that up there, and then put our stairs one tile higher, and that's about all we need to do. So if we turn one, pick up this fuse tile, the octahedron won't see us just yet. We can use this to our advantage. We'll still have to get it to move a little bit in order to grab more tiles and place them anywhere from this point. But we can do that. Block it off there. At that point, there's a ton of ways that we can navigate here that keep it from getting on our tail. We can also take away a little more of what's dangerous to it with all these fuse tiles around. Because you might have noticed, we don't want it to die. That other tan statue on the right we cannot use to hold the button down because it's stuck in the corner. So our only other option is to make use of the octahedron. So let's just get a very simple setup here. That'll do. Tell me that seeing a room like this doesn't strike terror into you. Just tell me. I mean, don't tell me. You'll make me feel silly. Just keep it to yourself. Anyway, though. I don't know if there's more than one solution to this room. It's very specific. We want to go up, pick up this fuse tile, push that rock to the left. That button's taken care of. Now if we head over here, walk 3 to the right, 1 to the left, put the tile down, pick up the stairs. We had just enough room to use the stairs to get back onto a string of solid ground again. Now go over here, pick up the shade sign tile, then push the rock down. Button number 2. Go up here, button number 3, come down, put the shade sign tile down, and then you might think this is not a good position to be in. But remember, nothing can stop you from going down the stairs if you get to the stairs. So it doesn't matter that the shade was about to fall down. It's very funny to me. It's just such a goofy thing to have to do. Okay. This room kind of leaves you to feel like your goal is to get the Aya statue over to the left. Don't bother. Don't bother doing that. Make room with all these left statues and instead push the Aya statue over here to the right. Then bring the fuse tile over. Let's grab the tile we got from that Aya statue and put it over here. Look at where the octahedrons are. If they move once, we're good. If they move twice, they die. It's not possible to get an octahedron to move only one space if... how to put this? The only way to get an octahedron to move one space is to be in front of it 2 tiles away with a gap immediately to your left, and then you put a tile down and pick it up again. You'll be stopping the octahedron from being able to go any further. It'll be stuck at that one tile. But in all other cases, if you give yourself the space to be able to safely lure an octahedron, so it's got 2 tiles to the right of it already, if you leave that space immediately, it will still be targeting you on the turn that you're in the air. So it'll still move 2 tiles. I know that was kind of a momentum-killing explanation, but it helps to understand why we need to have this specific exact setup, because here we have 1 tile of run-up. Oh, right, let's drop all these statues. That'll connect the octahedrons, including the judgment tile, to the rest of the room, while leaving us safely sequestered on these 2 tiles. Not sequestered, separated. Sequestered is a very specific word that doesn't quite mean that. So now we step onto here. They're on the buttons. If we moved anywhere but the stairs on our next turn, they would die, and they would not be on the buttons, and we couldn't leave. So that's why we have to have it exactly like that. This is another very tricky octahedron management room. Kind of the general theme of this branch is Aya statues and octahedrons. Let's pick up this one so it's not going to immediately follow us onto there as soon as we step that way. Now we've got to do some really goofy juggling. Let's grab the stairs that are under the Sith statue. Take them before that octahedron can come for us. We're going to want to leave that button there, sort of. We'll have to do some amount of shuffling here. This is not a great spot to do it in. Let's take the stairs over here and take this button. There we go. Now we have this white tile in a different spot. Okay. That's sort of useful. Yes, that's where we want that white tile to be. Okay. Now we've got that button closer. We're pretty much in position. We want to take this button, put it right there, bring the white tile right there. Now that octahedron is in place. That entire area to the left side, off limits now. Now we want to put this button here. Nope, we want to put the other button there. Ooh. Yes. Put this one there. Now this entire middle area is off limits. That was so close. I actually need to move the other button into place first, too. This one gets very constrained very quickly once you start actually doing things. Oh, almost. God, this whole everything. The shuffling around almost makes no sense to my mind. I feel like, in a weird way, I can hardly wrap my head around how I'm even getting things in different positions. I just kind of try permutations until it works. Okay, this is, again, fine. But to be on the safe side, let's go ahead and get the stairs into position. We can do that like this. It's not in position, but it's in... Actually, it's literally just where we had it, isn't it? My god. I think, actually, all that does... What did I do, actually? Oh my god. Okay, enough waffling. Let's just see if we can actually make this position work at all. Yes, we can shuffle this way. Sort of. Oh my god. Oh my god, like, no, we actually can't. No, we can't. How did I even do any of that? How am I doing anything? How am I breathing right now? Okay, all of that got the white tile where I want it, and then got the stairs where I want it. Okay, that was a good set of moves. Let's put the white tile over here again. We're good on that side. Okay. Having it like this, all we need is to have the button in our rod before we go over here. That's that. I do love the symmetry of that room when you finish it, though. Okay. I'm gonna give you a little fun fact, which speedrunners do for obvious reasons, but it's also just a funny thing you can do. You don't have to wait until you get void memory to kick this chest 6 times. You acquired a strange feeling. Your mind feels heavier. Some statues exploded. You don't know what to make of it. And of course, doing that at any point before talking to the rock changes its dialogue too. Oh, you solved it already. I guess I'm not needed here. Poor thing. Let's escape with our goods again. With that, we can go talk to this rock now. You wish to get rid of that lorn idol? It's quite simple. Hold the action button for a few seconds. Remember to watch out for lightning. That's true. But if you do get lightning struck and then keep holding the button the entire time, still works. Death is of no consequence. So, let's try that trick again. We got a bunch of ad statues blocking the stairs. And it is not working. Okay then, let's talk to this rock. Defeat the agents of the lords to open the path, but only lonely ones know the correct order. If you think you already know, think again. Well, that's ominous. We could think that we know the order. We could. Let's consider that for a moment. Get rid of you also. Take this tile. If we want to kill them in the order of the Void Lords, which I think we have at this point. By process of elimination, we can definitely assume that the second domain is Aes's. Because, you know, Tail is there. Tail's told us about Aes. So if we want to destroy them in order, we're going to want to construct things such that we can pick up the shade sign first. The shade sign is attached to add. And actually outline this, because it hasn't really come up in the LP yet. The leech is tied to Aes. The smile is tied to B. The maggot is tied to Mon. The beaver is tied to Tan. The lazy eye is tied to Gore. The octahedron is tied to Lev. And there aren't any mimics on this screen, but the mimics are tied to Sif, which I think has been... Actually, no, it hasn't really come up yet either, huh? That's funny. There's a lot I know about this game that, you know, I don't know. That didn't make any sense. There's a lot about this game that, like, I know, and this LP doesn't, if that makes sense. Oh, 1. That's interesting. Okay, well, anyway. Our goal then is to pick up that shade sign tile, then kill the leech, then kill the smile, then the maggot, then the beaver, then the lazy eye, then the octahedron. And hypothetically a mimic if there were one here. So we're going to want to set things up such that we can actually still navigate this space while the shade sign is in our rod, and we do not want to pick the shade sign up any sooner. And that'll do it. We've blocked off view from the smile so that it won't immediately dive off the edge as soon as we try to go get to the leech. And with the tiles in place everywhere else, that should give us the room we need to handle everything else. We can push that off now. Let you die. You... 61, that's interesting. 31. Curious. Okay, well, nothing happened. So clearly there's some information we don't have here. Defeat the agents of the lords to open the path, but only lonely ones know the correct order. If you think you already know, think again. Let's take that 01 and get somewhere with it. Oh, come on, get out of my way. As you might have guessed, the wings path tested us on the sword. The memory path tests us on the wings. We have not been tested on memory just yet. Let's head back into the sword path where we started. Oh yeah, we've gotten some very pretty and atmospheric beeps and bloops added for memory. Get through this room again real quick. We can do some fun stuff with this now that we have wings, but it's also really unnecessary. There's kind of no way to make a solution for that room simpler, I don't think. Maybe there is. Maybe I'm underestimating the utility of the wings going through there. Let's let all these die again. Get rid of these so we can freely run around and place blocks wherever we want. What do you have to say? The first to go is a leech. I forgot to set anything up on my computer for taking notes before starting this. That wasn't that smart. So let's open up my phone for notes mid-recording. Leech is our first to go. That is all. And beneath you is a 41. If you have been paying very, very close attention, you might remember something in EO41. That's right, it's another rock. And in fact, each of these rocks is explicitly going to lead us to the next in the sequence, which is very convenient. Oh, come on. Thank you. And as you might have noticed, the hold the action button trick is how you get rid of all of these ad statues. The second to go is a beaver. Oh, I just realized Leech before Smile is going to be annoying again. For the exact reason that it was a moment ago. Thank you. Onwards to the next one. This is just what we're going to be doing for the next few minutes. Killing some ad statues. Pushing some love statues off often. Oh, oops. That single tile does make the difference, by the way. Though, I mean, we also just want the ability to pick up and put down tiles in general. But with that, we can actually access all of these enemies to kill them. The third to go is an eye. That is our lazy eye. That is all. It's only a little annoying having the music start up every time you warp, but it's pretty rare in the main game of Void Stranger that you do any HUD warping that sends you to the area you're already in repeatedly. So, just kind of an EX mode exception. The fourth to go is a smile. Thank goodness, finally, so we don't have to plan too much around them. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay, we return here. We can push this rock off now that we've spoken to it. Let me double check that I absolutely did that. Yes, we're good. My poor memory, that's okay. Now we can escape from 26 to go to 57. Here it super doesn't matter that the octahedron is going to die. Let's get rid of that statue right now. The fifth to go is a shade sign. That's a little annoying, but that's okay. We can make it work, especially with the ones remaining. I don't think that'll be too bad. Push that off. Let's go to 43 now. Ah, yes, this one. The 6th to go is an octahedron. Okay. Push that one off and get our 36. Now, actually, I mentioned earlier that I'm very familiar with the 2 rooms after this that end the Wings path. That's because normally I end up branching off of the cycle to head down that way. But that's for a reason we'll see later. For the purposes of the LP, I will actually go to 36 proper. It's been a long time. Okay, luckily, none of this really matters. There's no Lev statues here, so we can freely just kill these ourselves. Though to be fair, we're not getting out of this room the normal way, so it's fine. The 7th to go is a maggot. That is all. Now you might think the reason that I normally branch off is because that's where the cycle ends, so we're only 7 enemies in that room. It's not quite true, though. But we can still always figure out the 7th once we know the 6th and prior. Because the 8th one, the final one to go, is you. That's always the case. Okay. Enough funny business. Let's do this room the only way I know how to. The one funny thing coming back here with Wings that you don't have to put the Shades tile back down. So let me check some stuff. Yeah, let's not continue the cycle, because you might have noticed it heads back to 18, which is where it starts. Yeah, don't even worry about it. You'll send me back at EO01. Okay. With our knowledge gained, we can now actually solve this room. Open up my notes again, because definitely I did not memorize that list. Okay, so our very first thing is a leech, which again means we need to block the line of sight from the smile. Not impossible. We're gonna have the shade sign 5th, so we don't have to worry about making sure that stuff is pick-upable. Then, or making sure that we don't have to use our rod that whole time. That's what I meant to say. Here, let's a little extra insurance by taking this HUD tile. Okay, that add statue is now in place, so we're good for everything else. We'll set things up so we can kill the octahedron later. So it's Leech, Beaver, Lazy Eye, then the Maggot, or sorry, then the Smile, Shade Sign, Octahedron, and Maggot. So I'm going to want to make sure that I can safely get to the Maggot without issue by the time I pick up the Shade Sign. This all should work. Leech, Beaver, Lazy Eye, Smile, Shade Sign, Octahedron, Maggot, and ourselves. How ritualistic. Cool. Now we don't gotta worry about any of that. Now it's just get to the end. Here we have a fun kill all enemies room with an interesting puzzle. Yes, I do this, then put that down, then pick this up, and put that down. That works. Woo! Here was a very tricky one for me for a long while. I'm pretty sure I only figured the solution out by looking it up from someone else. Shoutouts to the System Erasure Discord. Thank you. Okay, now that we have this funny little arm with our 3 love statues in the corner, we can safely pick up and put down 1 block, pick that one up, put it down, kill this beaver. Gives us just enough run up to safely kill this octahedron, and the other 2 don't matter. This is a room I like. I think this room is fun. It just plays out very smoothly. Your goal is just to build a bridge of glass tiles that gets you to the other end, so all you really need to do is make sure that you have enough tiles to continually navigate around in circles that whole room to place 1 more down and get to the other side. Right, this room. I think I do this one in a funky way. Start here, I push that A statue, I kill this maggot, then I pick up this button, I kill this maggot, put the button down here, pick this up, put it there. We're running out of Lev statue uses, but that's not a big deal. You can see, actually 1 second. I almost reached for my Discord keyboard shortcut to mute, and then got thrown, because 1, I don't actually want to do that, and then 2, I changed it recently. Okay, 1 moment while I blow my nose. Okay, the one nice thing about having to blow my nose on recording is that there is absolutely 0 way that future editing crap will ever miss the audio track of that, the waveform shape, and not notice that she needs to cut it. Okay, from this exact position you can see that all of these leeches have broken glass paths that strand them on those buttons, and we have a clear path to the other button for that last one, so we can just wait around for it. This one's a funny one, and also a tricky one. This octahedron is going to come right for us, and kill itself unceremoniously on that judgment tile, which then keeps it from blocking the Mon statue's gaze. So our only choice is to pick it up. Now our goal is to drop both these left statues at the same time, because one of them's already triggered. Okay, we get you over here. Almost. There we go. Now they're in good position. Bring that one to the left, and now we have them exactly as we want. Step over here, and step over here. Not a problem anymore. Pick as many tiles as we want. Just, you know, don't do anything stupid, like step between the Mon statue and the octahedron hanging out on that glass tile. This is the Hell Room. This is probably the most infamous room in EX mode to the subset of a subset of Void Stranger fans who played EX mode and got to the end of it. Let's talk to the rock that's over here. We haven't needed to talk to any so far. Leave the leeches be. I know they can get in your way, but they mean no harm. They only seek warmth aimlessly, like others. A very considerate perspective on these things. As such, our goal is to navigate this room without killing any of them. I have memorized a very, very particular way to get to this room that does work every time. I'll give it that, but I wouldn't call it efficient. It's just specific. And it works. There we go. So now we create a bridge in the bottom part. You're going to have to make use of all of these AA statues, at least for this solution. There might be a solution... Actually, I think there definitely are solutions that don't involve using all of them. I do, though. 3. This is very much the kind of solution you come to your first time playing, where you're like, okay, I can recall the exact thing I did up to this point, now I'm just going to try stuff until it works. And then I recorded it, so I would never forget it ever again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down you go. Left you go, and now we stall again, waiting for those 2 leeches in the bottom to come back. Okay, now we want these 3 to our immediate above to be in a specific cycle when we push this up. This is good. And now we can just be up here. Let's let this leech pass so we can safely step on that shadow tile. And now here we are. We're going to kick the wall an unreasonable number of times while we wait for all of these leeches across this upper right to lower left path we've made to be in a very specific position. According to my recording, which is a fun combination of words to say, this amount of wall kicking takes about 45 seconds. That's a lot of times kick the wall. Very close. We do want the 1 immediately below us and the 2 that will be immediately below it to be in that position where they're all facing right and the upper one is 1 offset. We do want exactly that. And we want those 2 leeches in the bottom right to be exactly there. Now we can safely head down, everything will get out of our way, and now we're going to want to do a little measurement. So from this exact spot, if we head up, and then 1, 2, 3, this one will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll both be out of our way, and this leech won't even be a factor. Just like that. It seems easy. Actually, it probably didn't seem easy at all. It probably seemed incredibly convoluted. But it gets the job done, don't it? Okay. I got so in the mode that I forgot to talk to the rock here. Before you can leave, get rid of the ice. Or was it glass? I don't know. I think I've called it glass the entire LP, but also who cares? Also, because there's a button there and nothing else to put on it, we need this smile to stay alive, so we're gonna do everything in our power to make sure it has a path to the end. I picked this up, I believe. Put that there, perfect. Pick this up. Ah, I forgot to break this one sooner. Okay. I often forget that step in my own solution. This is another solution that I memorized by way of recording and doing it a lot, of course. Ah, and I did that one wrong. Very easy to feel like I should just go down and then straight back up. Come on. Now I'm making all sorts of small execution flubs. Okay, move up once and then go and pick up the button. Here we are. It is the perfect spot. Drop this here. We can leave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But wait, interrupts post-production, middle of editing crap. You did forget to read the text that explains this room immediately. I'm sure you guessed it already, but don't lay your finger on those maggots, no matter how tempting it may feel. on with the show. Yes, 3 rooms in a row I recorded to make sure I had permanent memory of the solution. But this one's also not too complicated the way I do it, so it doesn't require that much actual, like, memorization. Just hitting some key beats, pretty much. Yeah, and then push this down. Push this down. Now we wait for our opening. Delay once, and now from here we're free to just walk to the end. Thank goodness. Don't have to do any more crazy setup for specific patterns of enemy movement to make it safe. So, this room had me laughing out loud when I first got here. I'm going to stop for a moment, and I'm going to explain something very goofy. If you can remember, what, like an hour and a half ago? Something like that? Less, probably, because I've cut off some material. Probably like an hour ago, I remarked that a lot of people who play Void Stranger have difficulty with luring the beavers around in specific ways and knowing how they're going to move and being able to navigate openings and create intentional openings, just etc, etc. The 2 Bulls room in Lily mode is actually really infamous in the community for being a stopping point for a lot of players, for being a room they just can't figure out. Keep in mind that EX mode was added to the game after the game had been out for, let's see, it was September to April? So, half a year? Just about. So this is the devs clearly playing a joke on a lot of people. Anyway, like I said, that room doesn't really give me any trouble for the most part, and neither does this one for similar reasons, because it really doesn't expand on that room a significant amount. Let that one go by, get you in the corner. And then you're going to come over again because I really... Oh, I blocked your vision, actually. Well, you are going to come over again because I really want to put that tile back. I really want it out of my rod. Let's get you back over this way. Ooh, don't lure that beaver right then. They would have collided. Okay, you get to be over there. And now we're going to bring you down one more time. And you up. See? It's not that bad. For me, anyway. Then, you get this one. So, I don't spend enough time in the System Erasure Discord to know if this one is infamous, but it feels like it should be. Just look at what's around us right now. At the edges of the room, just a whole square of... There's a whole wall of judgment tiles. Then everything inside, aside from the buttons and the stairs, is all fuse tiles. There is extremely minimal amounts of non-volatile ground here. We are going to want to be very careful, not only because some of this stuff will just kill us if we touch it, but also because if we don't manage where we get rid of the fuse tiles, we could accidentally drop any of these 3 gore statues. And we do have 3 buttons, so we're going to need all 3 of these. We already dropped one to start. There's no way to start this room without dropping that first one. With that, we can begin moving these judgment tiles out of the way. This is going to be the process. We also only need so many fuse tiles, so we're going to want to make sure we don't let too many hang around, because they'll just get in the way. And we may as well take the opportunity to get them out of the way. Keep in mind, some of these we are going to have to step on and get rid of them, though. If we want to get more of these judgment tiles out of the corners, we're going to step it on at least one other fuse tile. So let's take out like 2 more unlit fuse tiles from our equation here, and that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that we have. We're going to need 6 exactly for the way that I solve this room. There are plenty of ways to get through this way. It's through this place that's super open-ended. Yeah, for the most part. Which means we can safely drop 3 more of these tiles. Let's go ahead and confidently get rid of 2 of them, and we'll leave 1 for leeway. That's pretty much it. We're going to be spending a bunch of time just moving stuff around. If you don't already know the intricacies of moving around with only 2 blocks with the wings, this room will make sure that you figure it out. Okay, put all that down there. That's convenient for us. We can drop that there for the moment. Drop this down here. Put that back, actually. Yeah, you realize you need, a lot of little, like, space ordinally to the block you're on in order to move clusters of 2 to be separate 2s instead, if that makes sense anyway. Okay, now we can start to put more of these judgment tiles in this corner we have open. Which is handy. Oh, see? See what I mean? We're actually going to need to make use of 2 fuse tiles here to get rid of this judgment tile, so I actually needed that 1 block of leeway. Is that right? Oops, did I screw up? Nope, this is 7 right now, so we're good. I just can't do visual math very easily sometimes. Make sure to move this before you step on it. I'll just put you over here for the moment. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. Grab this button. Oh, getting that tile out of there is annoying. Why is that annoying? There we go. And let's actually put that down there again. So now we have the space we have. Let's actually put that one there really quick. And to put this one there, we'll want that there for the entire rest of the room. We will temporarily get these ones out of the way as well. Put you out of the way. Constantly in this room, you end up doing a lot of, like, getting stuff out of your way and then back in your way and then out of your way again. It's very silly. Okay. Want to move you 2. Now we can have you there. Okay. That's step 1. Now we can push 2 of these statues onto these buttons. We can also safely get rid of these lit fuse tiles. Oh, I miscounted. Because one of those we have to use for that as well. For solving the actual... Oh, I just realized a way I could do that that doesn't involve using a fuse tile. That's never occurred to me before. Are we screwed? Yes, we are. By the end of this, we want a fuse tile here, 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 and here, which is 6. Wait, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So I get to do all that again. Let's be a little less wasteful. Okay, you see what I mean? Like, even when you know what you're doing in this room, it's just a lot of, like... Well, you gotta do it. It's just step after step. But like I said, I think I figured out a way I can do the actual pushing them on the buttons part that doesn't involve having to use a fuse tile for it. There we go. This is very goofy, but it will work. Goodness. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Wow, though. Oh, I don't want that there. I need to move my button out of here. Okay. Let's temporarily put that there so I can stomp these fuse tiles. The specifics of it all. Okay. Put you there, put you there. We are now in position to actually finish solving this room. Sort of. Let's put you there for the moment. Alright, so let's put that there instead. Okay, so that's where we want it now, too. We've got more than enough by a factor of 2 of them, which is... it's not a bad thing, necessarily. That's actually extremely not a bad thing. But we do want to get rid of that one in the center in specific right now. That one's in the way. I guess that one that's immediately below the last Gore statue, that was just pretty much forfeit. There's no easy way for us to go get it. And we can go get it, it's just annoying. It's just annoying. Wait, never mind. Everything's in place. I kind of forgot for a moment. Everything was good. Almost, I just realized. Yeah, I'm actually in a strange spot right here. Let's temporarily put this down here. I really need the stairs where I have the button right now. Okay, some goofy shuffling out of the way. Finally, we can actually just do this. We go over here, pick the button up. We now have safe travel to move past it. We put the button here, pick up this one down here, which gives us our path back safely. And then down here, this one is going to let us push the last statue onto the button. I gotta time how much that room took later, but my guess is like 20 minutes. Or... no, it was like 20 minutes ago when I was talking about the beaver stuff, so probably like 15 minutes, or a little more, something like that. But that's the last room that's like a real slog. At this point, the rest of it's going to be much smoother. Not like easy, or fast, but it will be smoother. I pushed one too many times, I wasn't thinking. That'll do. Just need to separate us again. Okay, this last one is fairly simple once you have an understanding of it. If we get up off this very dangerous layer of almost half fuse tiles, actually mathematically it seems to be 1/3 fuse tiles, then we can simply move these mimics over to the wall. Once you got 2 of them like that, the thing that I mentioned way earlier, where if you separate them at the same time, one of them will stay still. That's all you need. This exact position will make it so that you can safely walk across all of these fuse tile spaces in the upper rows, and let the mimics pass by completely out of harm's way and out of your way if you stick to only the columns with fuse tiles in them. And now we can build a safe area for all of these mimics, at which point we can now get into the goal and get them all locked into these buttonholes. F1, huh? We do have an F1 key on our keyboard. This is a normal game feature, it's about to happen, but we've just never used it because never had any reason to show it off. But there's a little function button toggle hint little display here. It tells you stuff like toggle help display, which is what we just did, toggle timer, which shows that, which is our playtime for this session, or for this save, I suppose. For the run, I think, is true. And then toggle step counter, which is how many times we've moved and how many times we used our rod. 0 for both, of course. We can toggle full screen, which I'm not going to do because it'll probably mess up my recording. And toggle our flicker rate. You can also turn flicker off, which I forget about regularly. There's also EX. Remove 1. Which is strange. There's no EX key on our keyboard. 1. 1 remains. Don't ask how I know. We want to remove 1? I could do that. Huh. We removed 1. Get out of here. None. None remain. Don't ask how I know. Get out of here too. We're presented with an interesting choice here. We can keep going down the sparkling hole. That's pretty obviously progression in EX mode so far. Or we could reset with the Sith statue. If you recall from the other times we've reset with Sith statues in this playthrough, it remembers your burdens. That would allow us to do some interesting stuff in E000. Why'd I say it like that? That's a really... in E000. But I think I'll leave that to you to check out on your own. I'm serious about that. My whole intent this entire time with this LP was, yes, partly to show off my knowledge of this game, my skill with it built up from playing it a lot, and to have some fun with voice acting, character acting. But it's also been to entice people to check it out themselves. And you've made it this far. You have not seen the end of Void Stranger. You still haven't. You have the chance to go pick it up yourself and try it yourself. I've just shown you how to get through the hardest mode of this game. If you want to see what weird, interesting stuff still lies in EX mode, because much like the main game, EX mode does not have only one ending. If you want to check that stuff out, I just gave you a whole, 2-hour video? Something like that up to this point. To check out, or to have the solutions, to know how to get through all of it, to get to the point where you can get to the stuff I'm not showing you. That's my honest feelings about it. I recommend you get Void Stranger and see what there is left to see that I won't show you. Another dead end. Great timing, stranger. Push me into that sparkling pit. I must find it. Well, alright. There's only one way down for us. Oh, you're still here. You again, stranger. Did you fall here by accident? Never mind. Don't get in my way. I'm not confident you know your way. Here, I'll keep helping you, I don't mind. A love statue. Fun. The path is getting narrower and windier. Nothing I can't handle. What about you, stranger? Yeah, great question. Handle with whose help, I wonder? You don't know when to give up, do you? Do as you please. You're in way over your head, though. Maybe so. Notice something interesting about this room before it bites you in the butt. If we push this A statue up here, we will not be able to push it to the right. Let's make a little room. Oh, right, and push that down one more, because once we get rid of this left statue, it won't matter where the rock is. We can make all kinds of paths. Oh goody, a Mon statue. We're getting all the greatest hits here. Is this supposed to be a challenge? I'll just... Oh, are you starting to realize something? I like pushing the Sith statue out of the HUD there. Oh no, this is a little more precarious. This is just getting cheeky. Watch your step. I'm almost there. Don't mess with my moves, stranger. Yeah, of course. Your moves being messed with. Grab this one too. We're going to need every single tile on this screen. Could make use of the HUD tiles, but it's not really necessary. Right, let's pick this one up first. Yeah, and then put that there, and then put this. I mean, we actually don't need this one now, but yeah. We are getting close, actually. Even though we don't have a room number to go off of. Oh, this one is very involved. We push that down. Remember, it's going to push the Sith statue onto that beaver. We have to stall in order to be able to go get the leech without it killing us on the way over. Stall to get this maggot. Lure this octahedron. Get ourselves back in sync. And lastly, push this left statue onto this smile. Goodbye, Mimic. So frustrating. When does it end? What is it, stranger? Mind your own business. Sure. Look, I can stop pushing you anytime. So close. It must be close. I haven't come this far for nothing. I'll open your way for you. Surely we must be right at the end, right? Oh, well. We're definitely at the end for this rock. It's hopeless. I can't take it anymore. I'm so tired. This is the end of the road. Sorry for taking you down with me, stranger. Only bitter dreams of the waking world await you now. Don't ask how I know. Just like that. One more sparkling pit to fall into. A tree? How unusual. Haven't seen any this whole time. There's no stairs to leave this room. Only one thing to do. A lone birch tree stands in the void. This area feels safe, and since you've been traveling for quite some time already, would you like to rest for now? Slowly, surely, dreams embrace you. Mom! What is it, dear? Look! Oh, you actually found one! It even has 5 petals. You didn't just pluck one out, little imp. No way! I found it on my own. I'm just teasing. When I was little, we used to gather these flowers as mementos to those who passed away. You should give it to Granny. Okay. What are you trying to insinuate there? I'm not that old yet. Sure, old-timer. Here you go, Granny. Sternit fortem, mjøkum omnes placide. What's up with that thing? Did it break? I'm not sure. What do you mean? These golems mirror their target perfectly. Not just their movements, but their feelings and memories as well. Or at least that was my intention. I'm still no match to add, so obviously there are some wrinkles left to iron out. But I wasn't expecting anything like this. Something still lingers within its husk. Something it refuses to give up. Like what? How should I put this? The strength of Manish's devotion is truly terrifying. It gives their wishes wings to soar higher and higher, and can just as quickly plummet them into the depths of despair. If even a simple doll like this can shed tears because of it, maybe there's still hope for us. Come, it's time to move on. Thank you for watching Let's Play Voice Ranger Gaiden. Like I said, there's plenty more to see in EX mode. Other endings. Other tidbits, other info. Fun, weird mechanical stuff you can do. I hope you give it a look yourself. In the meantime, I'll head out and do anything else of my evening.